look, I don't get paid for this. They should advertise with me because I love them and I would be happy to advertise for them. But I think the Wall Street Journal is the best newspaper in America today. I read the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, the Washington Post. I read everything, okay? If it's out there, your boy probably sees it. On my iPhone, I'm on my phone, and I read a lot of stuff on the computer and obviously in print as well. I'm on my phone 9 hours a day. If it's out there, I see it, all right? Editorial. And this is a tough conversation, but I think it needs to be a discussion that's taking place. And I talked about it some on the radio show earlier. And the headline here is the GOP's abortion plan problem. GOP's abortion problem. And it goes through the fact that Democrats, since June, when this ruling came down, have been having more success and that they may well be knocking out the idea of a red wave because a lot of people are motivated based on this abortion issue and Dobbs overturning Roe v. Wade and sending the issue of abortion back to the states. Now, I've been saying for a long time Roe v. Wade was awfully decided. Everybody has their own opinions on abortion. I've tried to be as straightforward and transparent with all of you as I can. I believe that third trimester abortion is murder, okay? The Democrat position is that if they want to have, a woman wants to have, assuming they still acknowledge that women are the ones who get pregnant, if women want to have an abortion in the 9th month, that's okay. I disagree. I think it's murder. And if you take it out of the issue of abortion, the way I would talk about it is if you had a pregnant woman, if your wife, for instance, was pregnant and she was murdered in the 9th month and the baby that she was soon to deliver also died as a part of that attack, would you consider that to be one murder or two murders? To me, it's two murders because that baby, I've been through 3 pregnancies. By the time you're getting to the 9th month, you have put your hand on that baby inside of the belly a ton. You probably have already got your entire nursery set up. You probably have named the baby. You know the sex. You can look at the baby inside of the ultrasound, and it is a baby, okay? Third trimester is murder. The Democrat perspective is all the way up to 9-month abortion should be legal. I disagree. I think abortion, particularly in the third trimester, is murder, okay? But I think where Republicans are doing a poor job is the vast majority of Americans agree third trimester abortions is murder, around 90%. But I also simultaneously believe that in cases of rape, in cases of incest, when the life of the mother is at stake, babies shouldn't have to be carried to term. I also believe that birth control should be readily available everywhere. And we can talk about where you draw the line, but I believe in the first trimester, at some point, abortion should be permissible. I understand people out there sometimes get mad at me. They're like, oh my God. No, I believe that third trimester abortion is murder. But I believe that early on in a pregnancy, and certainly in a case of rape, incest, or life of a mother, that abortion should be permissible and should be a medical choice. I've said this for a long time. I'm actually in that tiny subset that believes, hey, you should be able to decide whether or not to get a COVID shot based on your own health externalities. And early in the first trimester, I believe that you should be able to get an abortion. And certainly with life of the mother, rape or incest. That's when it should occur. Now, what week it should occur at, I think that should be a state debate. I think individual state legislatures should go in and make the decision about which week. I'm not here to talk about where I think that line should be drawn, but I believe early in the first trimester that abortion should be allowed. I do not believe that it should be allowed in the third trimester. My position is supported by around 80% of the American public. 10% of Americans believe, this is your right, that when a baby is conceived, Nothing else matters. That life, that baby has to be born. Doesn't matter if it's rape, doesn't matter if it's incest, nothing else matters. When a baby is conceived, that baby has to be born. There is no ability for abortion at all. I respect that opinion. I don't agree with it. Okay? It's about 10% of the population. About 10% of the population on the other end says, hey, all the way up to 9 months, abortion should be legal for the entire length of a pregnancy. I don't agree with that. I use my example of a mother who gets shot. I believe that's murder. I'm in the middle, right? Much closer to pro-life probably than pro-choice. But that's where the vast majority of the American public is. 80% of us are somewhere between those two polar opposites. I'm not saying you're an awful human being if you believe either of those poles. You're entitled to your belief, just like I'm entitled to my belief. But Republicans have to do a better job on this issue because it's going back to the states, and you need, if you're a politician, to come out and say what your position is on this issue and let voters make the determination. And you need to point out how radical the Democrat position is. Every Democrat is saying 9-month abortion should be legal. Republicans have all sorts of opinions. Some Republicans believe any abortion should be illegal. That's actually a substantial minority of Republicans. The vast majority of both Republicans, Democrats, and independents are where I am, somewhere in that middle, not on either side. But the Democrat position is that 10% position. 90% of American voters disagree with the idea that abortion should be able to happen in the 9th month. That's what Democrats voted on. That's what they believe. That's wrong, in my opinion, and the vast majority of Americans agrees with me. They reject that Democrat perspective. So, I understand it's not an easy issue to discuss, and people have a wide variety of opinions, but Republicans need to be focusing on that third trimester abortion issue. And they also, in my opinion, if they have an opinion that is not that 10% opinion, right, that there is some ability to get an abortion, I think you should share that too. Most Americans are both pro-life and pro-choice. Most of them are. They have pro-life and pro-choice opinions, and the nuance and the discussion in the wake of Roe v. Wade is an important one to have.